There's angels in here.
Amen.
I feel like super excited.
Yeah.
Shantae McPhee, Lisa M. Jones. Do
They
not
see-
forget the M. That's
Please
very
don't forget
important.
the M.
And Andrea Jackson.
Yeah, you can forget Dale. It's all right.
The L Jackson.
Yes.
Welcome to another edition of Power Purpose Radio, the Rashad Mills Show. I am super excited. And before I go any further, like I do every Tuesday around this time at 8 p.m., I'd like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, for this amazing opportunity, because without him, this would not happen. Now, I am just unbelievably excited. I have some of my partners from the Extreme Makeover Conference, and that's the whole point of the show, to promote this show, to encourage you guys to come out. But let me introduce everybody moving left to right. Andrea Jackson. At some point, she was one of the Jackson Five, I believe.
I was the smallest sister that Joe kept in the closet.
Okay, some things didn't necessarily work out, but we get it. Lisa M. Jones.
Yes, that's me.
Sort of the mastermind behind this, and we'll jump into that. And Shantae McPhee as well. Are you ready? You in the corner like hiding from everybody, like camping out?
Yeah, I'm doing it just a little bit. I'm just going to listen and observe for a little bit.
Got you. So, ladies, I'll throw this question out to everybody. Just tell people about the Extreme Makeover Conference and why this is something that people would want to be at.
Okay, you want to go first? Okay, all right. Well, one thing that I know, just by trade, I work in the financial industry. And so I just see a lot going on in regards to people's lives. And so one of the things when it comes to money is people are so worried about their money, but they don't realize that the reason why your money is funny is because everything else is funny. Mm-hmm. And so one of the things that we do at this conference is we talk about the 5 areas of prosperity. And so we have to get accountability partners and be mature in the area of our spirituality or whatever it is that we believe. And then also in the area of our mentals, because everything starts in your mind, whatever thoughts that you have. Absolutely. And so then physically and relationships are so key. But relationships and then financial. And so then when we get the other things straight, then our money gets good. So we're going to talk about all those things. I'm excited because I work with the teens and I have an opportunity to touch them early in life and expose them to some of the things that I wasn't exposed to make sure that they stay on the right track. So I'm very excited about the conference.
Absolutely. Lisa, when you created this conference, when you had this vision in mind, sort of tell me, what was it? What was the point of this conference?
And the point is, it's about the people. We just want to give back to our community. And it's so many, I'm blessed to be connected, divine connections to some of the most amazing people out there. And I want you guys to have the opportunity to hear from them. I mean, they have impacted my life at some point, and I want you guys to hear from them. And the whole focus is about human equity. It's about building up the person, becoming whole. And so, like Andrea said, we are broken, and we like my daughter. She said, if you're broken, you're making broken contributions to society. Wow. And so, what we're focused on is building you up in the 5 areas: spiritual, mental, relationships, physical, financial, becoming whole. Yes. We have to make sure we're addressing all 5 areas. And a lot of us are just focused on one, and we don't understand why the other 4 are falling apart. But there needs to be a daily checklist: spiritual, check, every day; mental, check. It's a lot of mental issues going on, and I'm so blessed to be connected to Rashad, who's going to help us address those areas, and Shayna, who's going to help us address the mental issues that we are dealing with today in society. So we're about helping you to become whole in your life.
Wow, and Shantae, you were, prior to actually coming onto the air, we sort of talked about the experience that you had in the conference last year, and I could just see a glow in your eye. You were bubbling. So just kind of tell the people what they can expect. You were there, and just kind of share that with people.
Oh my goodness. You know what? It was so much energy in that room, positive energy. I know a lot of times that we're around different people, and we can feel that negative vibe, and that can weigh on us. It can weigh on us mentally, physically, spiritually. Has a lot to do with that. But in this conference that we attended back in February, we had an opportunity to listen to so many well-equipped leaders that were experts in that area and knew how to actually be able to communicate all those things that was going on. But not only that, so many lives were touched during that time. And so I had an opportunity to interview a lot of people that were leaving the conference. And every person that left there said that they felt empowered, they felt transformed, that they had never attended something like this before. Even my children, even though they kind of complained in the beginning, you know how teenagers are, oh God, why we gotta go. But then when they came home, they did tell me that they thoroughly enjoyed that because they had never been around something like that before. Yeah, I dragged them to other conferences. I've dragged them to millionaire conferences and things like that. But they never had anything especially for the young people. Because I always believe that sometimes we're forgotten when it comes to the teenage population. But also, and I was telling you that earlier, a lot of times we have just men conferences or women conferences. When have we combined the whole entire family? Because I truly believe if you impact the whole entire family, that you can impact the community. And then it just goes further, okay? But if we start with the head, which is the male, okay, because he's the leader. If we start with him and start addressing those issues, again, he can teach his children, teach his wife, and be the leader that he can be in that home. Yes. So that's one of the things that we addressed in that Extreme Makeover Conference back in February. So I'm looking forward to it this time around.
Wow. I feel your energy. So Andrea, one of the things that I want to ask you is, what is the impact, in your words, in terms of reaching the young people and giving them this information at an early age? Because you sort of mentioned that you're giving them something that you never had growing up. Right. So what's the impact of catching them at 13 and 14 and empowering them in these 5 areas of their life?
Well, one of the things is it's a seed. One thing I know in that room, it was all types of youth. You had, some had more money than others, some were well off, some were not. But in that setting, everybody was at the same space because they didn't know what to expect. But going in there, I told them, I said, my focus and my role is to plant some seeds today. Some of the stuff is going to grow. Some of the stuff is not right now, but it'll grow later. And so impactful from a standpoint of we have an opportunity to put some stuff in them that when they hit certain bricks, because they will hit certain walls and things will raise up, they'll have something to go to pull out and say, oh, I remember. One of our partners, Ebony, came in there. She shared, and it was absolutely phenomenal when she sat down. When she went across and she had them use these pieces of paper, and they had to identify themselves and say who they were. But things that you just don't really think about. We played Family Feud. That was awesome. When we played Family Feud, the other side of the teens came out. They're very competitive. They didn't want to talk before then, but after that, it was crazy. But one of the things I try to do is reach them at their level, but not go to their level. So I believe that you don't have to lower your standards and act like a child in order to reach a child. And so we had a very good time in there. We did vision boards. I think that was impactful. They got a chance to really talk about where do I see myself in the future, and then put that on paper. And I know some of them, including my daughters, they keep them. And so they look at them periodically and say, okay, am I on track? Things, again, that I never thought about or was ever presented to me, but have the opportunity to really be future focused. So when I get thrown off by life, because they get hit by life too.
Absolutely.
That they have something again to go back to, pull themselves up and say, I remember somebody said this, or I could do that, or I'm not alone in my story. And so sometimes you can just think you're by yourself. And
wow.
So,
So Lisa, just kind of, I went through the course of the show. I want to do it several times, as many as possible, to go ahead and give people the information. Because I know it's somebody home watching right now that they want to log onto your website. They want to go ahead and register while we speak because they can feel the energy. So go ahead and give people the date and information and things of that nature so they can go ahead and register and get themselves registered tonight.
Oh, that's right, tonight.
Emphasis on tonight.
I love it. The stuff you can use right now, tonight. And so it's going to be August the 12th, 2017. So you definitely want to be there at the hotel at the Preserve over near Merlin Live. I know you've been in that area before. Not in Live, but you've been in that area before. Arundel Mills Mall, something, right? Beautiful hotel. You can actually get a room. We have a good rate up under Jones Jewels and Associates. The website is www.jonesjewels.com. So go onto the website, hit event, and register. It's so amazing. This is about you. This is an investment in you. And I know sometimes we're so good at giving to others. The average adult wastes $200 to $500 a month Now, this is an opportunity for you to grow. So this is about self-love. And some people are not used to that. I was one of them. I misinterpret the scripture that says, love thy neighbor as you love yourself. I spent so much time showing others love and did not show that to Lisa M. Jones. I learned to love me now. And so this is an investment in yourself. So definitely. And it's $99 for adults, $75 for children, and then there's different discounts for families of 3 or more. But the thing is that you get your $99 back in some, because it includes breakfast, lunch, snacks. I mean, you just get so much back, and the vendors are amazing. And so it's just an amazing time. Every time it comes up, this is our second one actually this year, but the first one I remember saying, I want to register and just be a student there. I don't even want to work because I got so excited about the partners that I have are absolutely awesome. Like, I love them. I adore my business partners. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that God ordained us to be together and run this event together. It's amazing how Rashad and I met. It is nothing but God. So each speaker, I can brag on them, and I know they are people of integrity, great characters, not perfect, but strive towards perfection. And they are servant leaders. They have a heart for the people. They want to give back. You will not be sorry. Invest in yourself. It's worth so much more than the McDonald's meal that you're putting in your body. And these restaurants, this food that's hurting your temples. This is good food for the soul, and you want to definitely be there.
Now, if you and I sold off that energy for the last 2 minutes, I don't know what you can actually do. But Lisa, one of the things that you mentioned, I just want to piggyback on it, is you talked about Maryland Live. And if you're not familiar with that, that is a casino, for lack of a better term. And then you have a run-the-mill shopping and things of that nature. So for so many years, I was just like Lisa said, I would invest in other things to make me feel good. This is an opportunity for you to spend $97 to invest in yourself or someone that you love. If you're going to go out and buy a label and you think that's going to make you feel good, once it's too small or you wash it and it shrinks, listen, my friends, invest in your future. So I was feeling that.
Yes.
Even if I wasn't at the conference listening to you for the last, I would give you my $99 right now. I would just.
Okay, just do it.
I would give it to you.
All right, just do it.
I feel the energy. Let me switch sides. And Lisa had talked about something in terms of the vendor. You were one of the vendors last year, and prior to coming on the show, you just kind of gave me a feel of what it's like. So kind of share that energy to people out there that are watching.
Yeah, so we're looking for more vendors. I was in charge of the vendors that we had last year, and we had great vendors because we had vendors from like all over. We had someone from New Jersey. We had people in different areas that came. We had different vendors. So we had clothing, boutiques. We had fragrances. We had jewelry. We had people who were promoting other businesses like real estate. Not real estate, excuse me, coaching, and things like that. But one of the things I love, and I was sharing with you earlier, is that we had an even playing ground. So that means that everyone had equal opportunity. So it wasn't that, a certain amount of people were down this end, certain people were down this end. They were all in the middle. And so when you came up those steps to go into the room, you saw all the vendors there. And they did extremely well. And majority of our vendors are returning. The ones that aren't returning is because they already had a prior obligation. So this is something that you definitely want to get plugged into if you're an entrepreneur. Definitely get registered. I love the vendors because we support all of our vendors, all the leaders. We make sure. I went around and I went to each table and I got something from each vendor. Not only because I thought it was the right thing to do, because they had great things that I could really benefit from, like clothes.
and most women can. What a surprise. What a shocker.
Jewelry. We had It Looks Good on You. We had...
Why, thank you.
Yes. Lollipop Diamond Boutique. We had jewelry. We had so many other vendors there that I don't even start to name them, but they were great vendors and they did very well. So that's one of the reasons why we want, if you're new, and again, if you're an entrepreneur, come back. Come back, not only come to visit us, but if you're a new entrepreneur, this is a great way to advertise your business. I promise you won't be sorry. People see you and they are really proud and glad to spend their money. They are.
Awesome. So Lisa, you have had quite a bit of success with Crown America, correct? So the question for you is, many people would say, well, Lisa, why do you feel the need to give back? Why do you feel the need to give back and give this information to people? Because we have a lot of successful people that, quite frankly, they're not a part of the giving back. It's sort of a selfish approach. Why do you feel this need to organize these conferences, to have these amazing partners, to give back to people in your community?
I think we have a responsibility to do so. I think once you grow, you have a responsibility to give back to society. Personally, Rashad, I don't want to sit around and talk about, what Oprah should be doing, or this NFL player should be doing, or NBA player should be doing. When the last time you stroked a check? When the last time you donated towards a worthy cause? When the last time you blessed somebody just because? One of the things my organization do every year is we adopt families for the holiday. And we get their wish list and we buy all the gifts for the children and the family. And we do it for Thanksgiving, we do it for Christmas. When are you going to make a difference? I have an overwhelming desire to tithe $10,000 a month into the kingdom of God. And I remember the first time I wrote that $10,000 check. And it felt good. When are you going to make a difference? And another thing, I'm so blessed with such humble partners in this group. Shantae is amazing, and she runs the marriage ministry, she and her husband. And I want to teach people how to be married. You know what I mean? Folks was never taught how to be married. And so we have Shantae and her husband, Mark McPhee, that is hosting that workshop. Where we have workshops with Pat, Patricia, Richmond talking about how to be single. You have to know how to be single.
Wow.
You understand?
That's interesting.
Yes, how to be married, how to be single. Nobody taught us. We also have the men that's going to give back to awesome Sherman Nelson and Rashad and Mark McPhee going to have the men's session. And men need to be with men. You understand? But they need to know how to lead. We can sit around all day long and talk about what the man not doing, but who taught him? You understand? So we're so big on judging people, but we don't realize that nobody ever taught them. So this event is to get out the basics that we assume because our bodies grew up that we grew up. Okay? And so we giving back the basics so people can know. So it's amazing. I want to come in there and listen to y'all. I want to run to the women. I want to run to the marriage. It's like I'm jealous of all the workshops and I can't be in all of them because I know the presenters have a powerful message to present. So it's about giving back. Somebody have to stop talking about what's wrong as there's time for somebody to raise up and be the solution. So I'm not going to keep talking about the problems of Baltimore or the problems of society or the problems of Maryland. I want to be a change agent, and I'm connected to change agents and solutions providers. Stop talking about it and do something about it. And that's what we're doing at the Extreme Makeover. We're doing something about it.
Wow.
Look down on no man except to pick him up.
Wow. Like, how do you follow that energy up?
Yes. It's a commercial break.
Yeah.
Yes.
It feels like it. I love that energy. I can feel it I can absolutely feel it in the room. So Miss Jackson, in terms of you with the young people, what is one of just kind of give me a preview of one of your messages that you would give? Actually, don't give them the whole thing. Don't give it away because I'm sure that parents are going on to jonesjules.com even as we speak to register them. But just kind of give them a preview of what they would get from you on August the 12th.
Nothing. It's like so it's one thing that I will say is, in our session is very interactive. And so I talked about the family feud. So we're not going to do the same things this time because I don't want them to come back thinking, expecting the same things. But I will tell them that it will be extremely interactive. Some part of it involves paint. Other parts involve water if they let me do everything I want to do. But it's just very interactive to give the kids an opportunity, or the young people, because they're not really children. It's 12 to 17. We had 18-year-olds and 19-year-olds sneaking in there because they wanted to hang out with us because we're just fun. And so one thing that I would tell to the parents is it's a great opportunity for you to leave your children or your young people in capable hands while you go get what you need. So many times they're left at home because you're like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to get better. Or for that matter, people will say to me, my young people need to know how to do this, that, and the other. Well, this is the opportunity for them to get that and not not get it from you, because we all know sometimes we don't listen to what our parents say. But what we can do is put them in an environment where other people will give them something. And so as a preview, just know that they'll have fun, but they'll learn too, because I think it's really important.
And that's always a good combination
Absolutely.
for young people, having fun and then learning. The same question for you as well, Shantae. Just kind of give people just a sneak. And I know you are speaking about something, marriages, and that could probably be a conference by itself,
Yeah.
as well as the young people. Just kind of give people a preview of what they can expect.
Well, you know what? One of the things that I noticed that a lot of marriages have conflict, and they really don't know how to deal with conflict without, really being dirty. And I mean, throwing the punches and taking the words and tearing their spouses down and even bringing up the past and things like that. I really believe that people need to know how to handle conflict. Not just when it arises, but even after it arises. A lot of times, in marriage, we want to be right. And right is not necessarily always important to be right, if that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Okay?
Absolutely.
And understanding what your spouse's love language is. I'm sure people read the book 5 Love Languages and things like that. But do we understand really what our spouse's love language is? And are we really speaking it? Are we on 2 different pages? What about when we're growing? Your spouse may be growing, you may not be. How do you get on the same page? Okay? Because a lot of times we have these irreconcilable differences where it's something just very small that we can tweak and change that and learn how to get along, how to resolve conflict, and how to make sure that we're on the same page at all times. So that's just a little snippet of what we'll be discussing. Last time we did First Things First, and it was an acronym for that. But this time we're going to take it a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Because you know what? It's a lot of marriages that are hurting right
Yes,
now.
it is.
Absolutely.
So many marriages, so many people that I know that are in a divorce, are going through divorce right now, or
Yeah.
separated.
Yeah.
On their way.
Marriages are hurting deeply.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that should not be so. That should not be so. When
Right.
2 people said, I love you, and I said, I do. They said that, and they made that vow, they made that covenant. That should continue on, and I don't think people really understand what that covenant is, because we'll say, well, you don't know what he's done, or you don't know what she's done. And that's what we talked about in the beginning, with forgiveness. Forgiveness is a big issue in marriage. So we need to understand what marriage is really about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Is it really about just us? Because that's when we come into that oneness. Oneness means, a lot of times we say oneness is 1, 1 plus 1 equals 2. And oneness is 1 plus 1 equals 1.
Mm.
That's the difference. We're still one. We're bind together. Okay? And so that means that if we're bound together, then we should always be one, no matter what's going on. No matter what, because that's what the enemy wants to do, separate and make you divided.
That's right.
Divided
Divide and
accounts.
conquer,
Okay?
right.
I get into all of that. Financial accounts. You have yours, I have mine. All these things. That's yours. Don't come over here. That's your car, not my car. You make those payments.
Yes.
It's separatism.
Oh,
But yet
Wow.
still, you're supposed to be one. You're supposed to be one.
Wow.
So that's a deep
Separate.
issue because, I get a lot of people say, oh, I'm going to have my own. This is mine, he does what he wants over here, I'm going to do what's up. But you're one.
Right.
Then you wonder why things aren't working. Why you keep running into the same problems.
Wow.
Because you have not adopted the philosophy of what oneness is.
One.
Isn't it so interesting that how all of the different 5 areas, they tie in rather easily?
Yes.
And Shantae was just talking about the relationship part of it. She mentioned finances. I know that's a big part of it, and how these things intertwine so easily. Do you get that response from a lot of participants in the conference after it's over? They say, I never knew how they were connected.
Yeah,
The 5 areas.
We were never taught to address the 5. People go to work for one area, financial. They go to church for one area, spiritual. But who's ministering to the whole person? And so, unfortunately, some places will not address some areas because you have to go a little deep with it.
It's touchy.
It's touchy.
touchy.
And so they want to stay your friend. And here we want to help the individual. So you may be in a workshop and it may hurt the flesh.
Yeah.
When I'm coach, see, there's a difference in being a mentor and being a coach. The people who I agree to coach, I'm gonna hurt your flesh. You just want to mentor somebody to listen. That's easy. But I'm talking about a coach. you got to seek out a coach, because not only are we going to address these 5 areas, but we have people that are going to be on the stage that can coach you. I'm not talking about just a mentor, because, I've had people who say, Lisa, you're my mentor. And I said, I beg to differ. I said, you may admire or be inspired by me, but I'm not your mentor, because I never had a conversation with you. And if I don't know you, I can't lead you. And so the thing is that we're going to have people that's on the stage that you can say, I'm going to pick somebody, because if you can't write a name beside each one of these areas, you're going to fall. When I had stage 3 cancer, the only reason I didn't die is, one, I believe God healed me because I honored my parents. I believe that's part of the reason he healed me, and because I had so many people praying. But the thing that stopped me from going in a depression were my coaches.
So
my coaches were not,
partners.
oh my gosh, you have to have strong accountability folks around you that will tell you the truth. I look at some people and I say, they act like that because they don't have a truth person in their life.
Wow.
And there are so many people, she would never dress like that if she had a truth person in her life. She would never act like that if she had a truth person in her life, or him. And a lot of us, we don't have those folks. So I don't do business with people who don't have a mentor or coach. Because who do you fall on? Who you call when it's rough? Mm-hmm. This thing called life will kick you in the teeth, in the gut. You got to have somebody that you can turn to. And that's when I just can't wait till people hear your story. I'm trying not to tell it so that you can tell it, because it's such an amazing story. And so it was a mentor that pulled you out.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Life-changing.
Life-changing.
Life-changing conversations. So with that being said, Lisa, this is a great another opportunity for you to go ahead and let people know. I want to make sure that people they get the maximum amount of opportunities to hear all the information that they need, the date, the investment they're going to make in themselves. I didn't say the cost, but the investment that they're making in themselves, where they can go right now, because I want people to do it like right now, not tomorrow, but right now. Go to your website and go ahead and make an investment in not only their lives, but their lives of their family members and people that they love as well.
Yeah, man, the number one cause of us not reaching our full potential is procrastination. And people put it off. And pro stands, the meaning of pro is in front of, and crass mean tomorrow. And so we put so many things in front of our dreams and in front of our goals. So go online and register at www.jonesjewels.com. Go to events and register for the Extreme Makeover for the Family Conference. And get in while you can. $99 for adults, $75 for the youth. And it's going to be amazing. What you're going to get back is worth millions. Lives will be changed. Chains will be broken. You will not leave the same person. And the thing about it is that we have such great partners, but they are capable. Even though Shantae and Mark McPhee run the marriage workshop, they are more than capable of speaking in all the others as well. So it's like, I don't even want y'all to be like held down to one workshop. I want to mix y'all up, because I don't want people to think the singles need to hear from Shantae too. Because she has a message in her belly for women. Rashad has a message in his belly for men. But also I need y'all to run in the youth room and talk to them. So we be working. We come to serve. Yeah. We don't come to get praise. Yes. God is blessing us. Yes. We're not looking for you to praise us. Yeah. I'm not looking to be praised. I showcase my speakers. I don't even need the stage time, for real. I am a blessed girl. But the thing is, it is about the people. Absolutely. And that's who we want to benefit from this event. We come to work. We exhausted.
Wow.
We are exhausted when it's over. We come to work.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have the information. Please go ahead and invest in yourself. And I look forward to seeing you on August the 12th with amazing partners. But ladies, before I let you go, in Rashad Mills fashion, I can't let you go before I do what I like to call rapid fire. Okay. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Okay? So I'm in the studio with 3 positive, beautiful sisters. Okay, so let's think a trio. So I'm going to my yellow book, so you know it's serious. I'm going to the yellow book for my question. So, prior to coming on to the show, I had mentioned Charlie and his angels. So, Miss Jackson, can you name the angels? You can give me their government name or their name on the show. And I know I'm putting you on the spot. I know I'm putting you on the spot. Name all three Charlie's Angels.
Name all three.
Name all three. Without going to the secret yellow book.
I know.
Go ahead, because that was before my time.
Andrea, Lisa, and Shantae. That's right. Don't get them mixed in.
Oh my
I say Charlize Theron, Demi Moore, and I don't know.
Okay. You know what?
Ours are better.
I'm going to give you a B- on that one.
Okay, good.
B-. You were creative. You gave me sort of the new school Charlie's Angels, but that works.
Okay.
So I'm going to swing it over. Lisa, you're not off the hook just yet. So Shantae, name all three members of Destiny's Child and name 3 songs.
Really?
Kelly Rowland, Beyonce, and Michelle.
Name me 3 songs. I know that was
Well, let me go back. I'm a survivor.
Survivor.
Well, would it count if I say put a ring on it?
It's close.
The benefit of the doubt. Go ahead. I'll give you the benefit
Okay,
of
so
the
you
doubt.
want me to name something with all 3 of them? that
All
did
3
something?
preferably. I was going to give you the benefit of the doubt.
Oh my goodness.
No.
See,
no,
not
Yeah,
so
no.
easy.
Yes, no. No. That's one of the songs. It is. Thank you. It is.
So you
I'm a survivor. No.
So you used a lifeline.
Yes.
Okay, I get it.
Absolutely. But
Okay.
I named all 3 of their names.
Okay.
And you
Yeah.
get
That
the
works.
prize.
Yes.
You get that
Boom.
vase
That's
right
right.
there. That's your prize.
All right. So very quickly before we wrap up the show, this is we're still in this rapid fire mode. So I want to ask everybody this question. You are in fact having a dinner party. You can invite 3 women to be a part of that dinner party. They could be dead or alive. Give me those 3 names quickly.
Michelle Obama, Beyonce,
No.
and Lisa Jones.
Lisa Jones. Okay, Lisa.
Praise God. Thank you so much for inviting me. Oh, Lord. My mama, Angela Patton, would be invited. Andrea Jackson would be invited.
Okay.
And Shantae Mack.
Last but not least, Shantae.
I'm going to say Michelle Obama, Angela Bassett, and Lisa M. Jones.
I'm coming to.
Can you feel the love?
See, they know how to work the system.
I
Yeah.
can feel the love. Ladies, this has been a pleasure. You guys made my job really easy tonight. I look forward to being your partners on August the 12th. I'm super excited. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually attach to your website the link into this video so you have no reason not to make an investment in yourself. August the 12th is going to be an amazing opportunity. I look forward to seeing each and every one of you there. Any final words for people that are watching? PowerPurposeRadio.com and as well streaming live on Facebook. Any last words?
Well, we truly appreciate Rashad Bowtie Mills. He's an amazing brother, and I want you guys to know he's not just awesome here in the studio, but he's awesome on the stages. And I know that God has called him to speak worldwide. And so for these ladies that I'm blessed to be a part of, partnering with. And so please make sure you seek him out as well. What a powerful message he has for the youth ministries. You need this brother to come in and speak. For the men, you need him to come in and speak. So don't sleep on Rashad Bowtie Mills, an amazing, powerful brother. That's the best close for me.
Yes.
That's a great way to close. You actually have me blushing now. Thank you so much for joining me, the Rashad Mills Show, courtesy of PowerPurposeRadio.com. I will see you next Tuesday night at 8 p.m.